He has the most test runs for an Indian batsman after 10 test matches. He's also the second fastest to 1000 test runs by an Indian batter. And the start of his career has been nothing short of a dream. But does Yashasvi Jaiswal have what it takes to keep this up and become an Indian cricketing legend?
Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. There's a reason for why Yashasvi Jaiswal is highly rated and is seen as once in a generational kind of a batsman. And the first reason is his technique. If you look at his technique very closely, he's very textbook for someone who's grown up in a T20 generation. And if you then compare his technique to someone like a Sachin Tendulkar, there are a lot of similarities in their technique. It's very textbook, it's very solid. Yashasvi Jaiswal as a batter plays the ball very late, which is what you need in overseas conditions. And for someone who's fairly lanky, you do see him hit those big sixes, and that's predominantly because of his high bat speed. He's also known to be someone who moves his feet a lot. You can see him reach the pitch of the ball more often than not. He's not someone who stands in the crease and just uses his hands. And he also knows where his off stump is. He's someone who leaves the ball on length, which is not something you see very often as an Indian batter in India. But he's done that very well, especially in the India and Bangladesh series where he's left the ball on length. And that is a great sign to be a great test batter.
Now, the other thing that Jaiswal has going in his favor is the fact that he can play a lot of shots in the textbook. Not only does he play spin and pace well, but he also does so through a variety of shots, right from your hooks and pulls to late cuts, sweep shots as well. And of course, he's got some really good drives along the ground as well and on the up. Especially the usage of his feet to enable him to play certain kinds of shots. You'll never see him half attempting a sweep shot. Whenever he looks to sweep, he goes right down, goes right to the pitch of the ball and then plays the sweep shot. And the same goes with something like playing a cut shot or a hook shot. You'll never see him play these shots from the crease. He goes right back into the crease, uses the depth of the crease. And this is something that has helped him counter not only good spin attacks but also good pace attacks. And this is something that he will need overseas to succeed.
Now, he also has a lot of gears in which he goes about his innings, and that is very, very important as a test batter, especially in the modern era with so many styles of play. His first test 100 was a marathon 171 in 387 balls. So you know he can take his time, bide his time and score those big runs. But also the double hundreds that he's got have been in quick time. For example, the 214 that he scored against England was in just 236 balls. So he has a lot of gears. He can attack when he wants to and can take his time when he needs to.
And this also talks about the kind of temperament that Jaiswal has, especially in the most recently concluded Bangladesh Test series. We saw that when the pitch was slightly tricky and the seamers were getting a lot out of the pitch, he was able to leave the good balls and bide his time and ensure that he was not throwing his wicket away. Something that is rare to see in today's day and age, where T20 is something that dominates a lot of batsmen's playing styles. And it was a crucial innings at that juncture of the match because a lot of top order Indian batsmen struggled and eventually got out. And not only that, right, he also has the game where he can take the attack to the opposition, as was the case in the second test match where there was very little time for India to bat to force a result, and Jaiswal came out all guns blazing, scored a 72 of just 51 deliveries. And it just goes to show that not only does he have the game to succeed in very different scenarios, but it shows also the fact that he's someone who's ready to play for the team and play the situations well.
And when you see Jaiswal bat, you realize he's someone from Mumbai because of the way he builds his innings. And every time he scored 100, the 300s that he scored, they have been big hundreds. Every time you see him bat, you know it's selfish in a good way where he wants to keep batting for long. You see him hesitating when it comes to those risky singles or doubles. All of this contributes to him just batting there, batting for a long time and making sure he scores those big runs. And something that works very, very well for him and the Indian team is the intent for him to score runs. He doesn't necessarily want to just stay in the crease and not score runs. You see him wanting to score those runs. He doesn't like when bowlers are settled against him. So every opportunity that he gets, he wants to put away those bad balls and sometimes even creates those shots to get those odd boundaries. That is just him in the batting front. Even when you see him field or even when you see him bowl in the nets, he wants to keep improving his leg spin, even though he doesn't bowl a lot of overs during the game. And even as a fielder, when you see him field in the gullies or the short leg, you know he's learning, you know he's practicing, and he is a fantastic fielder. All those catches against Bangladesh in the test series were just beautiful to watch. And this has been a video on why we think Yashasvi Jaiswal might become one of the greatest batters India has ever produced. All of our links are in the description below. We put out videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. Follow us on all our socials. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.